What's up everybody, Lethal One up here, joined with Claire Bear. Today we're going to take a look back and recap what CD Projekt Red was doing before, during, and pretty much after the launch of Cyberpunk 2077. Afterwards, we will take a look at a game that flopped at launch but sprang back to see if CD Projekt Red can learn anything from these other games. So what we're going to do is we're kind of going to do like a back and forth. This is more of a very informative kind of approach to this topic, as we just really want to like hit you guys with the facts about this. So we're going to go ahead, let's start with some history and jump in first with Claire.
The game was first shown off in a teaser trailer in 2013, and it wasn't until about 2018 we started seeing concrete showreels. It was announced the game would come out April 16, 2020, and the world rejoiced, until the game was then delayed till September 17th because CD Projekt Red wanted more time to optimize performance. It was also at this time that CD Projekt Red said the game was complete and playable. Then in June, it was delayed again into November 19th, citing a huge number of things to iron out. It was around this time CD Projekt Red had claimed that they would not put the team through crunch to get the game out, but in September there were reports of employees working additional hours to finish the game. While CD Projekt Red compensated their employees properly, it left many asking why they didn't just delay the game beyond the crunch schedule. Lastly, on October 27th, the game was pushed back to December 10th. The last delay came mostly out of challenges of putting the game on last gen, like the PS4 and Xbox One. This worried many people because they thought the next gen version of the game, still unreleased, would be the real game, and the old gen versions would be severely downgraded. Sprinkled throughout these delays were other small controversies, but none as big as these.
Leading up to a few days before the launch, reviews, stories, and gameplay flooded social media, right? Most reviewers gave the game 9s and 10s, with a few strange outliers that we saw here and there. We put out videos talking about these reviews and our thoughts, so if you haven't already, make sure you go back and check those. Now, some reviewers came forward with some information that shook things up a bit. They said no one was given console codes for Cyberpunk and that they could only use footage provided by CD Projekt Red, which right off the back there, flags. Just a bunch of red flags. Now, this worried many people about the console versions of this game, and those worries are honestly, they're warranted, because it's very, very off-putting to see some type of news like that. Now, CD Projekt Red had this to say about the delay of the console codes. Quote, "Come December 10th, launch day, we had a really good start with PC reviews, and while it's not perfect, this is a version of the game we were and still are very proud of. When it comes to the review process for consoles, at the same time PC codes were sent out, we were still working hard to improve the quality of the game on old gen consoles. Every extra day that we worked on the Day Zero update brought visible improvements." End of quote. I always find it quite interesting that they, say old gen consoles when this game literally came out about a couple weeks after the launch of the next gen console. So that to me is such a weird phrase to even say and just weird terminology. But while the ethics of pulling this kind of move is honestly, it's debatable, many wasted no time in beginning to call out CD Projekt Red.
From the minute the game launched, there was a wealth of problems building up for CD Projekt Red, and it would continually blow up over the coming weeks. The PC version of Cyberpunk is relatively good. It had its fair share of bugs and crashes, but not nearly to the extent console players were facing. If you were lucky and had a PS5 or Xbox Series X, your experience may have been only kinda bad, while those playing on last-gen consoles were left with a frame-dropping, car-launching, absolute buggy mess. The people began to claim that CD Projekt Red had broken promises and released an unfinished game and demanded refunds. December 14th, CD Projekt Red began responding. They issued a statement saying, "We apologize to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles before it premiered, and in consequence not allowing you to make a more informed decision about your purchase." This was followed by promises to quickly push hot fixes to the console version of the game, and they finished by encouraging disgruntled fans to get refunds of the game, digital and physical, shifting the focus to Sony, Microsoft, and physical stores. Sony's policy didn't allow for something like this and led to one of the most climactic moments of this story. Sony removed Cyberpunk from the store and dropped it to the digital abyss where it still resides currently. So here we are, 3 hotfixes later and awaiting the big January update. Where does CD Projekt Red go from here? Well, here's what they said they'd do.
Now, in a recent public statement from CD Projekt Red, they apologized for the launch, and the top end of the team supposedly took all the blame. They then shared what launch was like for them, and then talked about how CD Projekt Red would move going forward. They pretty much reiterated that the first big update would come on January 23rd, and that we could expect hotfixes pretty much just throughout. Now, another update is planned for February as well. We see some free DLCs in the pipeline. They gave us a bit of like a visual to kind of show off like where all the updates are coming and where they're trying to plan certain things. But no dates for the most part have kind of been announced. It's just kind of very vague in the latter half of the year. Now, CD Projekt Red says more to say about that in the coming months to help kind of clarify. But, you know, once again, we're still kind of in the clouds here. Now, the next gen update is still in the works and slated for a second half of 2021. But individuals like myself that have this next gen console already, you know, it's kind of upsetting to know that we're still going to have to hold off on that next gen experience for Cyberpunk. And again, it's until they kind of fix everything that's going on right now, we're still once again just in the clouds about when we're even going to get that, if that's even going to happen. Even the promises of a multiplayer, when are we going to get that? Because there's just so much still they got to fix. Now, they will continue to aid those in the refund process as well, because, you know, they did do that, and they are still working with Sony to get the game back to PlayStation users, because as of right now, the game is still not currently on the PlayStation Store. You know, hard copies are out there, but digital copies are just not available at this moment still. And of course, we can expect to hear from CD Projekt Red more throughout the coming months, but this is kind of where we're left at right now. Now, here at 5-9 Gaming, we're always fans of a good redemption story and hope that Cyberpunk can be one too. But what will that take, and will CD Projekt Red commit to seeing it through? I have Claire here to discuss a story.
Sean Murray and the team at Hello Games did a great job redeeming No Man's Sky, but what did they do? No Man's Sky, similar to Cyberpunk 2077, had flaws relative to broken promises and an emptiness to the game. This led to a refund debacle and almost the death of the game, but Hello Games didn't want to give up on it. They took the expectation fans had for the game and made it a reality by pushing big updates that would completely change the game. Multiplayer, base building, commanding an armada of ships. These features were pushed in free updates to the player. The only request from the developers was to try the game again, and people did. Hello Games created the game that fans wanted and pushed beyond it. They recently won the Best Ongoing Game from the Game Awards, something you could not have convinced me of in 2016. The team at CD Projekt Red have their hands full trying to fix the console release and push hotfixes, so who knows what updates they have planned, but we can hope that CD Projekt Red can learn from a team like Hello Games and strive to make Cyberpunk the game people wanted, even if it takes 4 years. The trust and reputation of CD Projekt Red may be broken right now, but with transparency, a good vision, and a plan to execute that vision, the devs might be able to redeem the company.
Alright guys, that about wraps it up for us. What do you think? Is Cyberpunk 2077 able to pull off a redemption arc? Let us know in the comments down below. Also, make sure to subscribe to 5-9 Gaming on YouTube. And if you haven't already, follow us on Twitch and Twitter to stay up to date with us and the rest of the 5-9 crew. We appreciate you guys. I'm Lethal One Up. That's Claire Bear. And I thank you guys for joining us and for watching. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.